Much, Pak Rian, as the host in our meeting today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. uh, Thank you very much for the committee, for the team who should trust the moderator in this session. And maybe the first time for me as the moderator in Jabar. It's a very nice event, I think. And this is the 14th session of the Jabar Teacher Chapters for session or is about forget of this event. Thank you very much, the Honorable Miss Febriandrini as our coach today, and Pak very much. Welcome to 14 Jabar Teacher Chatter and being here today. We really appreciate you for taking the time active in this group. Our topic today is about better assessment with our outstanding coach, uh, Febriandrini K, S.Pd. I don't know about MID. Maybe Miss Febri will tell you later. SA is Sarjana Teknik, SID Master of
Yes, correct.
Master of
International business.
Oh, right, very nice. International Business. SA Master Teacher. Oh, good. Thank you. Miss Febriandrini K, STMID, teacher chat. She's also a teacher at China High School Lazuardi, West Java. He's also as instructor of uh, penggerak, pengajar praktik guru penggerak angkatan 1 dan 2. She's also as team of penyusun alur dan tujuan pembelajaran guru as well as trainer at kampus Guru Cikal. Yeah, I am Mr. Jasmansyah. I am a teacher, one of the Senior High School, Public Senior High School in Sukabumi, West Java, SMAN. To my daily activities. My organization busy right now as a vice president of Indonesian Teacher Association or Ikatan Guru Indonesia as the vice chairperson. Lecturer at some university in Sukabumi. Graduate program and program. One of ladies and gentlemen, our discussion today, I will divide it into two. The first session is a presentation from our coach, Miss Feb. The time for her is about 60 minutes. Then the second session we are open for questions. In the session of question and answer, participants are welcome firstly in the chat column, and the host or moderator will invite the participant to ask according to the number chatting. Participant can also ask the question column. Of course, you have to write your question in English. Ladies and gentlemen, to set the time, invite and welcome to our speaker or our coach, Miss Febrian. Deliver the important point of the based on the issue that we're discussing tonight. During the presentation, I mute their mic in order to have our discussion conducive. And please welcome Miss Febriandrini. It's about 60 minutes to deliver your points based on what we are discussing tonight. The time is yours, Febriandrini.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Mr. Jasmansyah and Mr. Rian, for opening our session for the 40th episode of Jabar Teacher Chatter this evening.
40th, right? Yeah, 14th. Yeah, 40th episode, yeah?
Yes,
It's
it's
very nice.
40. It's a very nice number, actually.
Episode.
And
Great.
I'm quite surprised, actually, because this Jabar Teacher Chatter can actually run until this 40 episodes. We are very surprised because at the beginning we're not really sure whether we can continue with this program because we're not sure whether the teachers in West Java are interested in uh, gaining either knowledge or either competence in speaking in English. But I think because we are persistent in doing it, and right now the episodes of Jabber Teacher Center only runs twice a week. Sorry, not two. Sorry, not twice a week. Once in 2 weeks. Sorry, that's my mistake. Once in 2 weeks. Jadi sekali apa 2 minggu sekali. So yes, tonight I would be your coach, and I would just like to note that this is not a seminar. So basically, what I would like you to do is, if you would like to say anything about what I would present it to you, then you are welcome to open your mic because here is time to talk. It's time to talk and unmute your mic. But don't worry, if you are not sure what to say in English, you can actually mix your English with Indonesian as long as not with the Sundanese, because I'm not really know about Sundanese. All right. If you stop Sundanese, I will ask Pak Jasmansyah to answer.
He is also not
Ah.
understand, do not understand Sundanese. Pak Jasman is no Sundanese, Bu Andri. Okay. Assalamualaikum everyone.
Yes. Oh, hi, Bu Neni. How are you? I'm so glad that you can come this evening.
Yes, thank you, Bu Andri.
So, how are you today, Bu Neni? Are you okay?
I'm okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Right.
Pak
Okay.
Jasman and Pak Rian, selamat bertugas.
Welcome, Miss Nanny. How are you today?
Yeah.
I'm fine, thank you, Pak Rian.
Right. Thank you, Budeni, for coming this evening. And I would also like to ask a few participants here. Probably you can unmute your mic and maybe talk about where are you from. Let's see, Ibu Amanati Nuraini. Would you like to say where you're from? Dari mana?
From Jakarta.
Oh, really? Which school do you teach? Which school do you teach, Bu Amanati? Sekolahnya dari mana?
SMP Negeri 119 Jakarta.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So you're in Jakarta. Wow. Okay. Right. Okay. And are you an English teacher?
No, Indonesian.
Oh, okay.
Wow, smart.
Bahasa Indonesia. Yeah, okay. I also teach Bahasa Indonesia right now because one of our Bahasa Indonesia teacher is resigning, so I have to replace for her, replace for him. So that's why I also teach Bahasa Indonesia right now. It's nice to meet you, Bu Amanati, and very nice to hear another language teacher joining us this evening. And we also have, okay, let's see who we have here. Ibu Teti Liningsih. Hi, Ibu. We have Ibu Teti Liningsih here. Okay, I think
Bu Andri,
yep.
there is Ibu from Kepri, Ibu Deswetia.
Oh, Dewesmita.
Desweta,
Hi,
right?
Ibu Dewesmita. How are you? Would you introduce yourself to us?
I am fine.
Oh, good. Yes. Could you introduce us? Introduce yourself to us.
Bu Andri,
Hmm?
um, I'm really sorry. It's the first time as the moderator in this session, so I'm not really sure the way how to handling of the
Okay.
session.
Right. Yeah. It's okay.
Normally, I'm as
Basic.
the moderator in the workshop, so
Yeah.
I have
No
like
worries, but.
I'm doing right now.
No, that's okay.
Please tell him how, what should.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Jasmine, no worries. The first time is actually the coach who encouraged everybody to speak, and then in the middle, when everybody would there's an interaction, then you would can ask the participants to joining the either unmute their mic and talk, or they can actually write down in the chat, or I would actually prepare a Slido for you to present, for you to write down. Okay, so don't worry. Yeah, no worry. This is a chat, Pak Jasmansyah, not a very formal situations, because I know that English is a very difficult. Some teachers have difficulties in speaking English, and if we do it in a formal seminar way, then they would not. Then nobody is willing to speak, I think.
Yeah, I still remember when learning before COVID years ago, my students are openly invited by uh, Jabar to join up the discussion in English. If school must be a student and then they join together in one forum with all students in West doing like what we are doing today. And it's very nice for my student at the time. Can hear the thought with other students from different regions, different place, and then they are sharing about.
Yeah.
I got the experience tonight because I'm the first time to join of the Jabar teacher chatter.
Chatter. Yeah, right. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Actually, the Jabber Teacher Chatter is designed for you to actually speak, okay, and actually practicing your writing skills when you write down some things with the English. And sometimes people are just willing to write rather than talk, and that's fine. So basically, also some people who are, I know that even though that you are quiet here, you are actually absorbing the English that is spoken tonight. So it's okay if you don't participate directly by speaking. But lately, I've introduced some participants with interaction with Slido. So hopefully, it would get you to participate more. Okay, so right now we are talking. Okay, so because this is the Jabber teacher chatter. Chatter means talk, yeah, talk in a non-formal way. We just discussing in a light situation about national assessment. Okay, so I would just like to present here. Hopefully it's okay. Let's see if it's working. All right. Hmm?
Just a fine. I long time ago, I still remember I sent a message to your email and then I invite you event at the time. You still remember? I remember right now that I shared your email and invite one of the
Oh
event.
yeah.
You still remember?
Oh yeah. Is that you? Okay.
Me.
But I think we haven't got a chance to talk more about that. So probably after this event, yeah, it's okay.
One day I'll invite you to be one of my inspiring
No, I think I should invite you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, go on, Mo.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so basically, I'm not going to give any what we are going to talk because we're talking in English, yeah. Because we're talking in English, we're speaking in English. So, but we talk something that we think about mostly these days, okay? And these days, everybody talks about the national assessment, how actually to get ready for national assessment. And the topic here is share your tips. So basically, I would love to hear your tips. What have you done in your school to make sure that your school is ready for national assessment? And since this would assess our school, so it is very important for us to get ready, and then whether it's going to give you any insights. You could also look at the other answers for your friends, right? Okay, so I'll just get from to the first uh, questions that I would like you to answer here. So I'm using Slido here. Slido.com is an application that is very good in gaining the student to express their mind so that we know actually what they're thinking. So, what words pop up in your mind? Maksudnya kata-kata apa yang muncul ya, pop up in your mind di dalam pikiran Anda. What words pop up in your mind when you hear about national assessment? Okay, so go to slido.com and then type C532. Okay, C532. And when you type that, it will directly go into these questions, and you can actually put as many words as you can. If you can also go to the QR code on the left side in the slides here. You can actually scan the QR code and then it goes directly to the questions. All right. Okay. So I'm just waiting for you. What words pop up in your mind when you hear about national assessment? Or if you wish, you could also go to the chat and then I would read your comments there. Bu Dewi Smita, don't worry. If you don't speak English, you can write English. Okay, Bu Dewi Smita. So, what words pop in your mind when you?
Ibu.
Yeah, okay. It's okay, Bu. So, what words pop up in your mind? Jadi kata-kata apa yang terbersit di dalam pikiran Anda when you hear about national assessment? So you can put in the chat or you can go to Slido. It's easy. Okay. Wow. Okay. It's easy. Anything else? Okay. Okay. Here actually using I love the way I love using Slido is that it's like Mentimeter but within your slides. So if Mentimeter asks you to go to another website, but here in Slido is actually it's actually go to your integrates within your slides and then you just slides and then it just pops up like that. All right, it's fun, it's easy. Wow, that's good. It's fun, it's easy. Penilaian sekolah. Okay, what else? Valuable. Okay, that's good. Panic. Wow, Ibu Rina Handayati, panic. Bu Rina, would you like to share something with your panic? It's okay, Bu Dewi Smita. You can also actually go to go to the chat and then you just type there. It's okay. Gimana Bu Rina? Yes, you can actually. Oh, okay. Wait, you can actually unmute yourself. You can. Wait, you can actually unmute if you like.
Hello.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you everyone. But this is the first time I join with this meeting. It's so
Where are you from?
okay. My name is Rina Handayati. I'm from Cianjur.
Oh, you're from
Great
Cianjur.
to be here, Ibu Rina.
Thank you so much. Actually, it's more preferable for me to meet with is amazing people here. Is amazing. Is inspiring here to talk
Thank
about
you. Thank
English
you.
and everything with yeah. Regarding the panic about me, so for me, like as a teacher, to teach them is what feel if you see about your student to get ready to prepare for the examinees like that, and then oh my god, what should we do? That how about that emotion? How about they prepare? They know about the question maybe or exam like that. Maybe panic. That's what I mean.
Okay, okay. So, do you teach the secondary or the primary?
High school actually.
High school, so it's secondary, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. High school, what grade? 10, 11, or 12?
12.
Ah, 12. Okay.
That's
So
why
you
I'm panic.
no, actually, you don't need to be panic. It's only goes to the students at the 10 or probably 11.
Yeah. That's
12
my
is not.
first time. That's my first time I teach
Ah,
this year for the 12th grade.
oh, all right. Okay, okay. So the panic that you have is actually you're not familiar because you're not familiar with the questions, and that's why you are confused how you to prepare for the students. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I mean. Yes.
All right.
How to
Okay.
prepare our student to get ready for the exam is like that, and then what the emotion, and then probably this time is this pandemic also is more difficult, I think.
Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. Basically, if okay, maybe later when you can actually. So okay. When you hear about the national assessment and then you panic and then you come up with questions, and then when you think about the students, how far do you think you can actually what things that have you already done to your students right now?
Yeah, I get them to more exercise like okay, I make another quiz and everything like that. So but still I don't know. They is ready or not for them.
All right. Okay. Don't worry, Burina. Don't be panic. I'm here. I'm here to make you less panic. Hopefully.
Yes, yes. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Should be not only for the student, that also for the teacher as well.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I think that there are some misunderstandings and also some misconceptions about this national assessment, and that's why people. The first reactions that when people hear this is actually as what you experience is panic. So it's actually a normal, and you are entering an our what is it unknown situation, so that's why you think that this is something that out of your hands. But probably while we go through that our conversations today, you will see that it's not actually that uh, frightening. Hopefully.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, right. Thank you, Burina,
Thank you so
for
much.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing with us. All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So here we have get ready fun. Uh, you know that it's valuable. I'm not sure about this. When someone says valuable in English, is it translated in nilai or is it translated in berharga, right? But I think what you mean is actually nilai here. So yes, this is actually go for the school. Yeah. So the national assessment is actually assess the school, not assess the students. So the students are just the samples, and actually when they give back the report would be for the school, not for the students. And they would just say that your learning in your school needs development in literacy or needs development in mathematics, something like that. Okay, so when I hope that what I have said here you can understand. I'm trying to speak as low as possible, so hopefully you can catch up with everything that I have said. Right. Okay. So basically, for those who just join in, we are actually doing the slido.com. So you can go to slido.com and then type C532. Okay. Uh, all right. Maybe I could ask Pak Pak Rian, what words pop up in your mind when you hear about national assessment? Mr. Rian, are you still here? Is it Rian, right?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
Yes, Mr. Rian.
uh, assessment is competency attainment of student.
Oh, okay. So, you when you the worst problem in your mind is competency, how to attend competency for students. All right, yeah, okay. Thank you for sharing with us. Okay, let's move to our next slide. Is that okay? Let's see. All right. Here is actually I would like you, as you know, that we have three things to consider here when we actually uh, build our strategy and getting ready for the national assessment. So three things to consider that you will be assessed, the schools will be assessed as a minimum competency assessment for the students, and also student character survey, and also learning environment survey. So we already know about this. You already read the documents. But the point is that what I get from reading the documents is that it's not just assessing the results of the learning from the students, but also how we build, because it says here about the learning environment survey. So if what I see from my perspective here is just the this assessment don't it's not like a horse racing. Yeah, it's not like any racing like when you just like if you see a horse racing pacuan kuda, if you see a horse racing, the horse, you just see that the horse is trying to get the finish line as soon as possible, and you get the winner. You got students who got the results, who got the highest mark, who got the lowest mark, who don't succeed or who succeed. That's what you get, and that's what we do in the previous year. So what we see is actually just the end result, but we do not. But the government now wants to look at how we prepare our students, what kind of learning environment that we need, that we have in our schools to guarantee that the students can learn. So I think this is actually, if for Bu Rina, actually you don't need to panic, because actually it's just assessing how your schools is going to uh, they will see how the school is conducting the lessons and conducting the education within their school. So here, the learning environment is actually the ones that I consider most because I think because that's the we've never done this before, and even we have like BNSB with the PMP and then everything that yang apa because sometimes they apa akreditasi ya we call accreditation, but it's different because here the accreditation is only look at the content, they look at the facility, but here learning environment survey it looks at the inclusion, it looks at the inclusivity too. It means that have you included all your students in the learning. So that's basically that I'm not really I know that we should actually prepare for the minimum competency assessment for students. They need to have that kind of competency, but I think the most important thing is actually how you prepare your school to do this. So I think that's why I said the three things to consider. And right, let's have another chat again. I'll go to. Okay, while you hear that we have three things to consider, what do you plan to do first in getting ready for national assessment? What is your tips? Can I have your tips to do? Sorry. Yeah. What do you plan to do first in getting ready for national assessment? I see some chats here going on. Let's. Oops. I think it's quite difficult to maneuver this with the share screen. Wait, can I see the PowerPoint text here? I don't see it. Speaker sounds breaking intermittently. Okay, Pak Maman, I'm really sorry. Probably the signal in your place. I hope everybody can hear my voice quite clearly. Uh, right. Okay. Yes, some signals are not very good at this moment. Okay, training for national assessment workshop or dissemination. Okay, so that's what you plan to do first. Okay, make a literacy test. Okay, that's a really these are really good suggestions. Okay, uh, come on, try to you can mix with bahasa Indonesia. It's okay if you want to. Actually, it's like, oh, I know these questions and I know how to answer it, but in bahasa Indonesia, but that's fine. Habituation for the student. Wow, this is good. So you try to create a new habit for the students. That is really good to change, right? Okay. And can we have more? Yeah, I'll just wait for a couple of three types of literacy tests. Yes, that's correct. We have a different kind of literacy test for the national for the minimum competency assessment. Right. Okay, I think I'll just wait for a couple of minutes here just to see whether you share something. Let's see whether you share something in the chat. You can put things in the socialization to the parents. That's really good. Yes. So basically, in our school, the first time to do is actually that one. So in order to prepare for the national assessment, we need to figure out how the best way we can actually work together with the parents and work in I don't know, work in tandem, right? Work in tandem between the teachers and the parents, because right now students are not preparing at school. Most of the time they study from home, so that's why I think it's better we go to we invite the parents and also socialize to them, and not just socialize but getting their opinion about what things that they can provide and what things that the school can provide to prepare the students together for this national exam. How to get the parents prepared for the national exams? Oh, that's a good question. Okay. Oh, you're someone's writing your questions here. How to get the parents prepared for the national exam? Parents get the most important role. All right. Actually, the thing about this is just that the national assessment needs to focus on the student, and the learning itself is actually happening around the students. So, if you want to, if I have to answer how to get the parents prepared for the national assessment, it means that you need to what is it to talk. You need to talk with the parents, and then discuss together how what kind of learning needs that the student have to prepare for the national exams. Sorry, national assessment, not national exams. UN is different, yeah. National exams is UN, and here is national assessment. So, if you want to get the parents prepared for the national assessment, you need to have a regular uh, frequency, the frequency to good frequency in communicating with them. I would say the best way, the most things that it really need is communication. How to communicate with the parents, that's the most important thing. And also here, homeschooling. Oh, okay, it's actually school from home, right? Not is it homeschooling? Because okay, the difference between homeschooling and school from home is very different. School from home means that the parents uh, still need the schools to guide them through the curriculum that we have, and they still use our curriculum for their learning at home. So that's the school from home. But actually, homeschooling is the parents. The parents decide which curriculum that they would need. So that's basically the difference. Yeah, the difference between the school from home and also homeschooling. Right. Okay. So we also have here multiple choice, complex. Okay. I think it's not complex multiple choice. The right one is actually multiple response. So multiple choice is the which one is the truth from the A, B, C, D, and then the complex multiple choice is or the response is actually you can choose two or three, which is correct, or you just choose um, either two out of four, right? That right, and also the essay. Thank you. So yes, anyone wish to say something? I think someone opening their mic. No. All right. Okay. So this is basically what you plan to do first in getting ready for national assessment. And have you known that national assessment is not the replacement for the national exam? So it tidak menggantikan. So basically, in my point of view, the first things you have to do is actually you look at the assessments happening in your school. What kind of assessments that you have there in your school, whether it is aligned with the national assessment. That's the first thing actually that our school does. Yeah.
May I comment here?
Yeah.
Yeah, free speaking. We are talking.
Yeah, we are talking. So I'm not giving seminar here.
Yeah, as you told us before,
Yep. Maybe I just stop sharing first. Yep. Okay.
national assessment that our ministry in education launched several times ago. This is for assess of students' character. How important of the character is one of the point that must be assessed as the one of the requirement for the student from junior high school, elementary school. It's mean talking about the character, I don't forget the concept of the assessment. It's not only assess of the cognitive only, because cognitively students assess during the class in the maybe in grade 1, grade 11, or grade 7. So this process, I mean, it's very important to know our student character, because know that nowadays so many people are smart, so many people are very brilliant with IP or overgrade of the total score from uh, what is it? It's called NAM, yeah. If I do NAM, maybe
The national exam
average is
scores.
9, average is 9.5. But is it the or effective for the people's character? So the point is a policy from the government policy here. It means that it is very useful for the student how well of the student character. It means for the future, people is not only because of the smart, because of the student's score and result on the final exam, because the successfulness for the people for the future is how the can interact, can use of their character, their behavior in life. So will use their skill. It's not only because of their skill, because of uh, people good in doing things, but also the most important thing is that how well of people's character. Be honest, how well of the people with so it may be parameter for the successful the people in the future. So in my understanding, this assessment is because of the condition in our country. Let's say corruption. The corruptor is not from the people who under the. This means that the people, the corruptor is because of the the character of the people who corrupt of the money from our government. It is not uh, people or because of under but they have a good in skill. They have a good skill. They are smart, but because of their smart, they use of their smart for yeah stealing of government money as the corruption. So it is very interesting. It's very good for me when someone try to use of the character surface as the parameter of the people of the student to graduate from senior high school, from junior high school, or from elementary school. It is the parameter for successful in the city, but more than the cleverness that they have, how good of the people's character is. It is, and I agree with this. I strongly agree with this concept because the problem in our country nowadays, as well as for my student, is character, the behavior. So we know from the news, from the television, there are bullying occur everywhere. There are some students, there are some people are not respect to the parent. It's because of one of the mind educational system because we are focusing on the cognitive only.
Right. Okay.
From
That's
the
a very good observation, Pak Jasmansyah. And I agree with you that this is actually, but I think I should actually point out to everybody here that the government wants to know about our students' character, uh, not because for graduating from their school. This is not assessing their graduation, and this is not assessing how they would graduate from school. So basically, that what they would like this is actually something that we need to talk we need to think about is that this is not for grade this is not going to students for graduations. This is not as eliminating them from any chances that they get for to go to other schools to go to the next level of schools. So basically this is just government wants to know about how the learning happens in our school. So that's really need to you need to think about is how actually the learning happens in our school. So maybe this is the next slide would also make for the national assessment, particularly to get the students ready for the minimum competency of assessment, is to transform your learning from drilling to thinking. And this huge transformation. Why? Because we are not used to making our classes from drilling to thinking. We kind of every day I see that most giving things to students like they uh, it, the way is almost the same as the tens or million years previously. So it's kind of the same right until now. But here, for if you are willing to change within your classroom, you something about the national assessment. You kind of read something or you kind of heard something about that. And some students, just like maybe Pak Jasmansyah, is very knowledgeable about things. And but also there are other students who is like Ibu Rani tadi, who is panic. She's panic because she doesn't know and she doesn't know what to do. But I'm trying here to transform that. Okay, I need to have a class that can go from drilling you more things to remember. I'm not giving you more things to like more procedures to remember, but it's actually how to make you thinking. Thinking is not the same as remembering, right? So it's quite the same. So I think everybody here is familiar with the Bloom taxonomy, and if you see there are uh, the tree on the tops of the Bloom taxonomy, that's where the thinking happens. So if you are able to transform your class, everyday class, not just a special occasion, not just when in the text or in the what is it in the exam written exam, you can actually go to see how you can do this within your class every day, just like what I do with you right now. So it is important for us to actually see how the students thinking, how we don't actually go from giving more materials to them, but actually derive and also getting their minds out from their brain, right? and also saying their opinions and taking decisions. That's what thinking. So that's basically the things that we need to consider, how to transfer and how to actually getting ready. It's not about the students doing more questions, doing more works in the well, doing more works is fine, but actually it's how you encourage them to think and how you encourage them to make decisions, and that's the most important in the national assessment. And also here, three things to reflect when you actually want to transform from drilling to thinking. So first thing most is your classroom management. So how do you manage your class today? And have you looked at what the students need? Every single students that how do you plan your learning strategies? What kind of strategies do you if you see one student need help, what kind of learning strategies that you can also help the students, but don't but not neglect the others. So that's basically what we need to think about. Differentiation is the key. And also, if you, as I said previously, because the national assessment would not assess your students for graduation, so it is now the school itself have to think about the quality of the school assessments, right? So if the school doesn't have a good quality school assessments, then everybody would see how the graduates from their schools to look like if they don't have a very pronounced school assessment. So that's the thing that we also need to think about. So it's not about just so actually for me as a teacher, when I hear about the national assessment for the first time, my first thinking is not how I can give more works to students, but it's actually I have to reflect myself whether my assessments that I have given to students for all this time has actually reached to that point where I can prepare them for that. And actually, we need to do different things. We have to do like as a diagnostic assessment. We have to do like different summative. The summative assessment must be different. So that's the thing that we need to change, and also would have to uh, transfer into a new way of assessing students. So okay, I think right. Okay. So after hearing that, because right now that you need to make students, okay, so to provide what learning activities can you provide in the class. Jadi kegiatan activity apa saja, kegiatan belajar apa saja yang bisa Anda lakukan di kelas to promote thinking, not uh, procedural, not just drilling, but thinking. So what do you think that you can do to promote thinking? Okay, let me see. You can actually put some things in the chat, right? Okay. I think probably someone wants to say something. There wants to say something about uh, what I have explained before.
Yeah, yes, please, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a comment, if you have an idea about what our coach today already explained about are you ready with the assessment that uh, launched by our government for junior and senior high school? If you have comment, please
Okay.
mute your mic and then share. And
I see Pak Asep Dani.
yeah, Pak Asep.
Hi Pak Asep, how are you this evening?
Okay, thank you very much. Can you listen to my voice?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunities. I think interesting to tell about the national assessment, right?
Right, exactly.
The national assessment, and then you ask the participant to talk about the thinking activities in the school. Because right now, Kemendikbud has already deleted or diminish the national examination, and then the
Exactly.
national examination will be replaced by uh, as, assessment, a specific assessment in terms of numeracy and literacy. Numeracy means that the student should be able to calculate and then multiply and so on, and then in terms of mathematics, physics, and science, and then the second one, literacy means that the students should be able to have a habit of reading, and then not only reading, but they also have to be able to write down, and then they also have to present. So the millennial competencies of today, there are four millennial competencies of today. The first one is critical thinking, and then communication, and then collaboration, and then the last one is creativity, can be reached by the literacy and numeracy. And then for the grades, the student can have the grade from their previous semesters, for example, from class 10 or class 11 to class 12. So I think it will be much more easier. It will be much easier, and then I think it will also be much more difficult. It will be easier uh, because most of the students sometimes are afraid of national examination, and then many periods that national examination uh, has also been controversy for some people because they don't want to have the national examination. But right now, during the pandemic, that national examination will be replaced by some or minimum assessment. And then it will be more difficult because we also have to guarantee that the result of the national examination will be very good. It means that the minimum examination will not decrease the value of the national examination previously. So I think when we talk about the thinking activities, we also know the theory of Bloom. For example, the first one is knowing, and then the second one is understanding, and then the third one is applying, and then the fourth one is analyzing, synthesizing, and then the last one is evaluating. So the cognitive can be divided into thinking, and then the second one is HOTS. It means that high order thinking skill. So in thinking activities, we do not uh, rely on lots low order thinking skill, but we have to rely on HOTS, high order thinking skill. It means that the activities of analyzing and then synthesizing and then evaluating or creativity must be relied on the activities of thinking. So I think I agree with the statement that we have to concentrate on thinking activities. So the first one, the method can be project-based learning, and then the second one is discovery learning, and then the last one is problem-based learning. So the student, when they learn something, firstly they have to observe. For example, if they want to study English in terms of public places, for example, public places topic. So they have to find themselves based on their own experience and then based on their own uh, knowledge. They have to know the public places themselves, and then after that they can discuss with the teachers and then other fellow students. So they can find themselves about the public places. So the teacher here is not the one who knows everything in the classroom, but the teacher should be the facilitator. And then in the classroom, so the project-based learning can also be used. For example, the teacher can order work on something, and then they have to produce something, and then they can discuss, and after that they can have the product in the school. For example, in vocational school, they do not only study the theory, but they also have to study the practice. And then the last one, they also have to be able to have the product, and then they can be an entrepreneur in the vocational school. I think that is my opinion, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you very much, Miss Teacher Andy.
You're welcome, Pak. Okay, Pak Eko is raising his hand. Yes, Pak Eko, would you like to say something?
Yes, thank you, Teacher Andri.
Yes.
Uh, I just joined the meeting,
No
but
worries.
I just want to share my opinion that to face the national assessment, I think the students need, uh, if we prepare the methods, I think with the problem-based learning and also maybe project-based learning, these methods can promote them to think. But the most important thing, I think, is how we prepare their psychologists their psychology to face this national assessment. Although although Mas Menteri has said that they don't need to learn more in what is it, Bimbel, and they don't need to do that. But I think when I national assessment, it looks like the same like the national test, but the difference is uh, it looks like more, what is it, what I can say, uh, it is their daily problems, more daily problems than that facing in the test. So this is what I can say is we need to prepare the students for in psychology's thing, because no matter what the test is, but if the psychology is not ready, I think no, although the national assessment is not scary enough the national test, but I think the psychology is must be strengthened then.
Yeah. I agree with you. Where do you teach?
I teach in Bekasi in elementary school.
Elementary school. What grade do you teach?
6th grade.
Oh, you teach 6th grade. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So, well, since you are the 6th grade teacher, South, how is your school planning for assessing your students for graduations?
Nowadays, since we study online, I think the struggle is harder than before.
Oh, okay. I mean, do you change? Does the school change the way they assess their students? Like they do the assessment differently?
Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
do the assessment differently, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, the problem is not the assessment itself. The problem is the students, because some of the students are not supported in their house. What
Exactly.
I mean is, what I mean is, some of the some parents, they said, like, seems like, okay, this is my child. Would you mind guiding them to be the better person? Uh, just like putting a box in the school, and okay, you can take the box. What do you want to do with the box? It's up to you.
Right, right.
Wow, it means like, this is us. This is school, or what? uh,
Right. Okay. Pak Eko, if I also would like to ask whether uh, do you talk to your parents and when in regularly like questioning how you can actually uh, help the because the students are now studying from home, right? Bekasi is not. I think Bekasi is still school from home, right? Not going to school yet.
yeah, we are still studying from the students are still studying from home. I've tried to contact some parents to discuss about their children,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, since we faced COVID for a year, the degradation of learning of the what is it, the spirit of learning degrades too. So this is the struggle to me, for also for the my friends in the sixth class. We have to promote their spirit first, before
Right. Okay.
we can we can teach them. Then, and that is the way is it, not enough for the, it's not enough by giving not enough by giving a quiz. We need
I know.
many
Right.
things.
Right. Exactly. What we I'm not sure what is this, but I'm really glad to hear about. I mean, I know that some teachers are have difficulties, especially for the grade six and grade nine teachers, getting students be motivated in preparing for their ending the school year, right? Because this is like they think that this is because there are no national exams, then they think that they don't need to study, and basically that's why I always ask to the schools every time they ask me about, okay, how do I have to prepare for this national assessment, then I would always say back that how do you assess your students in your school, because uh, the way we change, the way our school in my our school changed, the place where I work now is actually we revise all of the assessments that we have, and for the end of even for the grade six students, we actually do there because the government already give different types of assessments that we can use, right? They have projects, they have portfolios, they have um, what you say, you can also have a written exam, you can also have oral exams and practice and everything, and actually we kind of do every little not everything, but like for the grade six we have we have a project called Compassionate in Action program, where they actually look at the environments and then see what things that they can actually do, what's the solution, and then they do that things for the 3 months, and then after that they present to schools, and then how the schools can uh, they would have to ask the schools how the schools can help them to evaluate to leverage their programs to the community. So that's the thing that actually we do, that we kind of change the way we assess the students. We still do the projects because project based learning, we do lots of project based learning, but for the ending for the grade 6 and the grade 9 we have kind of like a scientific research also, so they need to see what kind of things that they can they give the solution to the community. So that's why we create those programs in our school to so everything that they if someone asks us so how is your graduates, how the students can graduate from this school, I would have to say then we kind of do this assessment to so that our students can graduate. So basically that's the thing that actually maybe because the school mostly thinks about the end of the school year or the end of school level, is that you need to have a written exam. Yes, we have a written exam, but actually it's not the only exam that we do. So if the students know about that, and I see the huge changing in our students here, that because we say to them that okay, you will have a written exam, but you need also to do this, and we kind of give them this is how you will be evaluated, and they see, oh okay, we can do that, I can do that, and if they think that they can do that, then they are motivated. I think that's the key. Yes, Pak Jasmansyah, we have 10 minutes left for everybody to. Yes, all right. Maybe I'll just skip to. Okay, let's see. I present one more since this is actually the last questions that I would ask to everybody here. Let me present my screen again. Right. So here is so what kind of learning activities that you can do in the class to promote thinking. So the point is that how you promote your thinking. And here we got some great answers from the audience that we have here. We have okay. It's still going on. Okay. Oh, someone says more reading activities than having questions and answers from text, debating based on facts, designing things. I would love to do designing things. Integrated learning, good discussion and project based. Yes, these kind of things are promote learning. And basically, what you have to do is you, as a teacher, myself included, is still need to learn how to relinquish my power to the students. It's like that I don't always have the hold of the class. It's like sometimes I need to put that on the hands of the students so that they can be motivated and then they do their learnings themselves. And then, all right, see, this is what actually you need to think about. How do you design your assessment package at school? How do you assess your student learning? That's the most important. And basically, this is actually the last part that I would like to say, since we only have 10 minutes left. And it's actually the national assessment is you need to see it as a chance to grow. If you have a growth mindset and you tell your students that they actually can grow from not knowing to knowing, from not able to able, then they would definitely be able to do the national assessment. And also, I would like to point out here that actually the school the score that school has in this year, if they have the if we have the national assessment, it would not have any value at all until we do another assessment next year, because that's where we know that we have grown or not, that we have done something better or not. So this is actually the chance for the schools to grow and to see. And it's not I think the mass Menteri also say that this is not about the facility, this is not about the whether you have good computer labs or whether you have uh, good I don't know buildings in your school, but it's a chance to grow, whether you grow or not in your school. And they always say it's a process that they look at, the whether the learning experience uh, by the students would definitely uh, be they can see that in the results of the national assessment. So I think for everybody who is probably now thinking about the national assessment, that is going to be difficult. Yes, it's going to be difficult, but I think this is a chance to grow. And if you can give this to your students, then whatever questions that they have in the national minimum, in the national assessment, they would definitely uh, be willing to do it and be I mean, they would definitely go for it and definitely would like to try to answer the best way that they can. I think that's all my presentation, Jasmansyah. I know we still have 10 minutes left, and probably if someone wish to say something before we close up, I would just like to stop here. So I think we have a few of our of our coaches here. I see Ibu Teti. Ibu Teti, are you here, Ibu Teti?
Yes, Bu.
Oh, Bu Meti. Hi, Bu Meti.
Hi. I won't be able
Hi.
to open my video though.
That is okay.
Kayaknya saya kenal Bu Meti ya.
Iya,
Saya
Pak
tahu Miss
Jasman.
Meti.
Apa kabar, Pak?
Chairwoman Teacher Association teachers in Bogor ya Bu Meti ya.
Yes, that's right. I teach in
Yeah.
vocational school in Bogor.
Yes.
Yes, Bu Andri, can you?
Yeah. Bu Meti, before closing our
Yeah. Maybe you can say something about this national assessment. Maybe some tips. Maybe you have some tips for the others here as well.
National assessments, I think I strongly agree. This is my personal view, right? I strongly agree with it because once I did what do you call it? A teaching what do you call it? Yeah, a session with my students, and from that session, I found out that they are not used to critically what do you call it? Reflect on their own learning.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think if those kind of sessions were given again and again and again, then they will get what they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
And I think we are being pushed by the ministry to change the way we used to teach,
right,
to the kind of teaching that will make them and reflect, think and reflect. And
exactly.
I think if all the teachers are able to do that, our kids will be better.
Right. That would be a lovely closing for our statements.
Bu Meti is always great.
Of
And Bu Meti
course.
need Pak Jasman here, okay?
Yeah.
I think we're a community where we grow together. I learn a lot
Yes,
from
of course.
teacher Andri, and I also learn from Pak Jasman. Hello, Pak Jasman.
Yeah. And we also have Ibu, I think Ibu Luki is here as well. Hi, Ibu Luki. Would you say,
Hello,
would you,
hi. But I
hi,
think
hi.
hi,
Would you like to say
but I
something?
think yeah, related to the topic or related to what happened here. I don't think you can hear my voice.
No, we can hear you clearly. No problems.
Really, the
Right.
this is the
Yeah.
thing about the national assessment. Yeah,
Right.
key rising teachers education. Hello, key
Yeah,
rising
yeah, yeah.
teachers,
Yeah.
educators, scholars, or any point that I think this is my opinion, right? I'm not talking about like for this like ready or not ready anymore. Instead, teachers must be ready in preparing themselves and indeed the students to face this assessment. Like what Asep, I think, if I'm not mistaken, project-based learning, discovery learning, or other method. Other modules, right?
Right.
And
Exactly.
also agree with Aman after Pak Asep. I don't remember the name. Teachers facilitate, right? And
Right.
assist, yeah, the students. Since teachers are not everything, so in this very near short time, I think I myself, how teachers quickly assess themselves facing the national progress, the programs of this our government, right?
Right.
So this assessment also encourages the students to be ready to face the real life, since we know that this program suits to the pillars of education.
Right.
Learning to know, learning to do, learning to be, and learning to live together. So
Right. Exactly.
they can easily apply that one.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much, Buluki, for your
Yeah,
final.
very sorry I cannot activate my camera because there are so
No,
many
it's
people
okay.
and also the
No
sound.
worries. Yes, no worries. Everything is okay. All right, everybody. So I'm glad to have our sessions this evening, and we have a good crowd actually this evening. We have about like 28 participants joining us in this room, and hopefully within the next 2 weeks we would have another GDC sessions again. And myself, teacher Andre, would like to close this session, and then please think about that this national assessment is actually a chance for you to grow. It's not for the government just to judge you. So it's actually for you to think about that this is a chance, as I said again, a chance for you to grow. I would give the floor back to Mr. Jasmansyah.
Thank you very much, Bandri, for inspiring sharing tonight about the national assessment. From our chatting and discussion today, we have some point. Yeah, I can. We are discussing from 7:30 until now tonight. National assessment is not as the substitution of that that we did before. And number two, the main objective actually first encouraging teachers to develop fundamental cognitive competences, character of student as whole. So what should be the main goal of the school, namely development of student competence, not only student competencies in aspect of cognitive, but as well as the character student will be part of the assessment. Number two, the national assessment is carried out to measure the mapping of the quality of education from primary to secondary education, as well as the equality program. There are three instruments used to measure the quality. Uh, National assessment or AKM to measure literacy and numeracy. Our participants shared before to measure the to measure literacy and numeracy skill as a result of cognitive learning. The character surface emotional learning outcome, which if we may conclude, which Pancasila student. Maybe ladies audience here has already heard about the Pancasila student, siswa yang berkarakter Pancasila katanya gitu ya. So itu salah satu national assessment that launched in Indonesia, and then what else? What's the point from? I know some here. Profile. Okay. Sorry. What is the point here? The character survey measures emotional learning outcome, which refer the Pancasila student provide, where Indonesian students have global, and we have according to the Pancasila values, in Pancasila values like belief, character, global diversity, mutual cooperation, critical reasoning, independent, creative, and others. Why do it is the last? Why does the minimum competition assessment measure literacy in? The answer is because literacy and numeracy are the competencies for a student to be able to learn throughout life and contribute to the people, to the society. It is some conclusion that I can say here. To the last that we're discussing. Thank you very much, Ibu Andri. Amazing sharing here. Thank you for and thank you for audiences, for participants. So it is about 25 participants are joining session today. As a moderator, I'm so sorry during handling of this. There may be some mistakes. Yeah, I told before to Ibu to be moderator in Jabar teacher chatter, and I don't know the rules of this. Bu Neni didn't tell me that this is different than other event like seminar, webinar. So yeah, so sorry if the rule that I apply during handling of this session is different than the concept
that's okay,
of the
Pak
committee
Jasman. That's
for
okay.
of this. And
Then you
finally,
know it by yourself.
thank you very much, Bu Neni.
My pleasure.
Giving the time for me as the moderator in this session. And nonetheless, let's close our session today. Let's say together. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. And I return up this room to the house, yeah, because the house has this room. So I return back to the house of this Ramadhani. Yes, Pak Aryan. And finally I say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, Pak Aryan, as the host of this meeting.
For coach and all participants, I think bila selesai. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Belum dipoto nih, foto bareng dulu Bu Rian, ya, Pak Rian. Saya dikirim.
Satu.
Dipoto Pak Rian yang foto ya.
Wait Pak.
Hidupin dulu kameranya.
Iya, hidupin dulu kameranya teman-teman.
Video kameranya di.
Iya, Hai Bu Sukartini. Would love to see you again someday.
Ya, masih gelap.
Iya, okay. We have Ibu Rina buka kamera. Right, okay. So, okay, Bu Lina Herawati. Bu Neni, did you open your camera?
I'm sorry.
All right. Oh, okay. Hi, Bu Dewa Smita. All right. Okay, so everybody, look at the camera in 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. I'll just put that in the in our group. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
I think it's okay.
Thank you semuanya. Bu Andri,
Bye.
thank you. Bu Meti, thank you semuanya.
Thank you
Assalamualaikum
Pak
warahmatullahi
Jasman, thank you
wabarakatuh.
Pak
Thank
Rian, Bu Andri,
I leave ya.
Thank you everybody. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye bye. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.